Welcome back. We are here, and we are in round two now. Rocket on the mic with Sasu, of course. We are still here, and we are looking now at round two between Woah and ZZZ. And if you can see there, yes, ZZZ did end up winning in a close to one set against Bingus. So now they will have the opportunity to take on seed number two, Woah here. And I'm noticing a lot of familiar faces, Ali and Toby, I believe. Very frequently play with each other in tournaments, and I believe this is just a mix and match in terms of like players. And they have A and Vital Astra on their team as well. Ali and Toby I recognize because they were previous Prison Break winners, Prison Break number 16. And taking a look at the other side, ZZZ have some notable players as well. I only recognize Jared, however. But yeah, this is going to be a very, very heavyweight one, and we're just going to jump straight into it.
Yeah, we are looking at Hagglefish Market here zones. I feel like this is a very standard map mode. Everyone has it in their repertoire. They know what it is they have to run here. We have a very standard comp, I'd say, on the side of ZZZ. Oh, unfortunately punished outside of that Reef Slider. We have been seeing a lot of Reef Slider lately. Obviously, this is zones, really good for capping. We also have a Bubble online, also very popular, and a Zuka. So I'm very excited to see the capping power coming out of ZZZ. Of course, we also have Woah, who currently has the lead and the zone, making their way in here with a Gal, putting a lot of pressure actually on ZZZ, getting them kind of stuck in their own spawn. And we have these kind of like sniping shots out of here from the side of Woah. ZZZ is going to have to work overtime and quite wake up if they're going to get off of their plat.
Yeah, they have Reslider and Cooler to do it though, and I feel like the reason why Woah has been having a good time at this is because they don't really have like a traditional front line. I mean, you could argue the Gal, but I'd argue that is a kind of more mid-type range type of weapon there with the Ink Wall, and that's just something that ZZZ have now just been able to really find a counter to. However, of course, as soon as I say that, two of their players go down, the shot and the roller, so losing a little bit steam on that comeback there, and really flipping it on its head yet again. Actually now ZZZ are the ones to lose two members here. The Reef Slider will go in to at least contest the zone a little bit, but quickly taken out by A+ on that Spatana Stamper, and still finding more of it as well. Zipcaster's online as well if they so choose to use it here, but now just deciding to try to chase these players out, trying to chase ZZZ out, as now eventually ZZZ hopefully develop a little bit of a position to try to retake this.
So this has been very interesting for me to watch here. It seems as though Woah has, like, ever since they've lost their zone, periodically been going down. Currently they have two members down, and you would kind of think that's curtains for them. But as you see, they're about to kind of recap. They have this in neutral, and they are able to cap and start working on that huge amount of penalty points they got for being capped over so low. They're currently at 54. But what I'm noticing here is it seems as though almost like ZZZ is not able to get much value off of their picks, even when Woah does have several members down, as currently they were at disadvantage, but with several people going down on both sides, they're sort of struggling to keep them back. And even when they are able to get that pick and move forward, it does seem as though Woah is able to kind of trade them back and also take that space. I don't know if it's perhaps this pencil that has having this backline here on that tent there is really good for them having that paint, but somehow ZZZ is going to have to get themselves together and figure out what it is they have to do to get those picks and then also keep the other team back.
I mean, I feel like you just have to start with dealing with A+ on this Stamper. I mean, they've just been such a frontline presence in a comp that, I mean, typically doesn't really, in a comp that you would think that the Gal would be kind of like a more frontline presence, but finally being taken out by a combination of the shot and the roller there. Now ZZZ have control of the zone. They have a little bit of penalty to work with, however, they have to first deal with this flank on the left side from that Gal, and the Gal will already find one, and still maybe drawing a little bit more attention as well. Finally taken out as well, not taken out of commission, but at least of the side here. But they're still causing so much damage and managing to find two more before they go down. Scar just continuously causing more havoc. However, on the backs of it, not much fruit to be shown there as ZZZ actually retake control of the zone. It has been so back and forward here. However, whoa, they'll still do have the lead here with about 45 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, first like you said, they're gonna start with that Stamper, but they're gonna have to end with that Gal, who was on an absolute tirade, ripping through ZZZ. Unfortunately, I think that's part of the thing that's contributing to their struggle to really get out of their spawn and keep the zone. We have this Reap Slider coming out, immediately punished as they go down, but we have both teams with one person down. We'll see if Woah, who is on their way to getting through their penalty points, is able to keep this for long enough to take out the game 2-1, and that will be game. Unfortunately, ZZZ not able to drop there out of their plat and into court and kept at bay by Woah.
Yeah, and that game was basically kind of just won and decided in the first minute, I feel. I mean, whoa, just with a very, very quick hold and knocking it down 70 ticks, net near down to the 30 and to the 15 around. Just their comp in general just answered really well to what ZZZ had. I mean, really just shut down what the roller was trying to do, because I know from personal experience, roller is really hard to play on Spot Zone's Hagglefish because there are not a lot of opportunities for you to get in, and you really thrive only when you have strong control of the zone and can really play the ledges and near the ramp. However, there was just not a lot of those opportunities to really work with, so the roller was just really just trying to be there, just to try to be that frontline presence to maybe kill these overextending players of Woah. But Woah played their cards right, and that's ultimately what won them that game. Let's see if they can continue here on tower control Manta.
Yeah, definitely excited to see the strategy here. Woah actually not running besides this pencil. I feel like their pencil maybe is just working overtime, because this is typically a comp that doesn't necessarily have a lot of paint. I believe they have that range blaster, a stamper that kind of just paints for itself, but you usually don't rely on for paint, and a gal, which certainly does not paint well. So they basically have that pencil to supply the paint for them. And yet they weren't having struggles with paint, especially coming up against a Dread. So I'm interested to see how that works for them in a place like Tower, where I feel like if you go onto that bunker and it's already painted and you're struggling with paint, it can just be kind of catastrophic. But of course, Range Blaster, a favorite for Manta Maria Tower. So perhaps they're happy to see that map mode.
Yeah, and I mean, just blasters in general. I mean, if you have a weapon that can just basically deny the other team from getting on the tower, I mean, it's always going to be a great choice. But I wouldn't be surprised, though, if, I mean, Manta Maria and tower control, just in general, another thing that immediately comes to my mind, that roller could for sure return here for that bubble, for that counter against the range blaster that we saw in the previous one, because what counters a weapon that provides that AoE, then a giant shield and basically a shark infested water zone saying, hey, if you even dare trying to get inside this bubble, you will be stopped. And we're actually seeing not a range blaster, but now an S-Blast being coming out. However, Miki will be staying on that roller here, as I believe it is going to be same comp for ZZZ, but a slight change for Woah on that S-Blast. And I believe that T-Tech is new as well instead of that Gal.
Yes, I'm pretty sure. It seems as though Woah is not playing around. They have both a GG Tri-Strike as well as a GG Booyah on their team. So they definitely will be looking to shut the game down if they have that lead like before. But that's going to be very difficult with them getting wiped and ZZZ having an early lead. Definitely probably looking to bubble that tower. They are moving up and go through checkpoint 1 with ease. Woah is going to have to get themselves together and figure out how to stop this right here and now.
Indeed here, and 3 players down, now an opportunity for Woah to finally recollect themselves here, but a great push from ZZZ nonetheless, at least getting through that first checkpoint, however, not quite getting through the second one here, and Now, something interesting about Manta Maria Tower in general, you notice how small the tower is compared to other towers on different modes. That could play in for a little bit of different factors here, specifically with that roller being able to still hit basically most of the tower, just being on the same level of it. And actually now Woe have been forced back just based on the frontline pressure and by them losing 2 members here. Now, potentially an opportunity quickly shut down though, as ZZZ quickly just lose 3 of their members in that firefight, and that will be a delayed wipe. Never mind, scratch what I was about to say or even speculate there, as Woe have just completely turned the tides and now finally try to continue moving on. Ali is still not done yet, managing to find one, quickly shut down by that Zuka though, so no more Booyah Bomb for this push. However, we do see the trip strikes going out now.
Yes, and this is, I'm assuming, what they were going for when they had both of those shutdown specials on their team, so that one gets Zuka in the face, the other one is ready with the tri-strikes nonetheless. But, just as you were talking about with that roller, able to clear off that tower and kind of stop that push, but no, they're still moving forward and have taken the lead, have those tri-strikes to kind of protect themselves, and they are able to break through that checkpoint. So despite these firefights and the back and forths, Woe is able to finally take that lead, and it just seems like a really hectic back and forth here. I have to wonder if they're going to be able to get those picks, though. The the amount of those picks is a little bit questionable. Obviously, they were coolered here, so the fighting just continues in mid.
It does indeed, but the tower is continuing to move, finally being shut down and pincered by that Stamper and that T-Tech, as with that wipeout now an opportunity for Woe to try to continue to extend their lead. Keeley, though, being able to get past that second checkpoint, this snowball is going to roll out of control, especially if Gold Scar is going to continue making their presence known on this T-Tech here, playing a little bit of sneaking assassin here, seeing if they can find a little bit more, just basically walking the tightrope, as that Zuka finds 2, finds 3, actually, as Jared Zuka goes huge, and potentially now going for the full wipe, as that Booyah Bomb is completely shredded through, and yet another pick as well. So now a very staggered situation for Woe, as ZZZ have completely turned the momentum against them, but now it is their turn to go through that same choke point.
You know, that that is the strength of Azuka, but what is Azuka in the face of a tie-rating Stamper? 3 down, I think, from A+ here, and able to, I think, get a total of 4 before going down, kind of answering back to the explosive power of that Zuka, which unfortunately doesn't find anything. ZZZ going to have to organize themselves if they're going to make this push. We're down to just a minute, and of course the other team nice and cooler, ready for these fights. 3 going down on the side of ZZZ, who's definitely getting themselves together while Woe tries to switch a bit to the defensive side. I'm sure Gold Scar here painting for these tri-strikes to make sure they're able to kind of get into that situation where they can popping them early with 30 seconds left, but maybe we're hearing on comms that the other one's going to have Booyah or anything like that, but they're definitely getting into position to shut them down so they're not able to force this OT.
Indeed. And now with 10 seconds left, Woe have all the momentum to them. Now, without a roller to deal with here, they can really sit comfortably. However, now is the time that ZZZ needs to make their move and to move forward here. However, will they have control of it and continue moving it? That is the question. No, they will not, as with just like that, Woe are able to continue their momentum and take that game 2 very cleanly, and now they have won the set and will move on. But ZZZ put up quite the effort, though, on that defense.
Yes, extremely exciting. Once again, you're lucky enough to see that Stamper gaming, quite frankly, gaming from both sides. And certainly an exciting Tower Manta Marie game. I was glad to see it. And a big congratulations to Woe.
Indeed, and they now face the 3 seed in the next round, Woe versus Run It Back here, who Run It Back just won against Cactus Birthday Bonanza. That is a wonderful name there, of course, just for their team member there, Cactus, unfortunately, their birthday wishes are ruined a little bit as they are forced down to face ZZZ in the losers bracket, but we're not going to be taking a look at Woah versus Run It Back. We're actually going to be taking a look at the top half of the winners bracket semis here as we're moving to best of 5, NFT Robbers versus 5k Ping, but that'll have to wait as we'll be taking a very, very short break before we move to that, so don't go anywhere as Splashdown Saturday number 5 will return in about 5 seconds.